Praise the Lord. My name is Esther Wambi. I love Christ. I love being here. I love talking about marriage. Of course, marriage is one thing that really is my passion, and I thank God that He's given me an opportunity to talk about marriage. Marriage is good, and that is why people get married every day. Actually, even those people who are suffering in their marriages, if you were to ask them to leave their husbands or to leave their spouses, some of them would leave that marriage today and tomorrow they'll get into another. So it means that marriage is a very nice and good institution that we need to really think about and we need to really preserve. And that's the reason why my passion is to talk to people about this very thing called marriage and see how we can make our marriages happy, because at the end of the day we really need these marriages. There is nobody who is ready to relinquish their marriages, or rather to stop getting married, or do away with it. And so we must find ourselves a way of making sure that our marriages are happy and that we are also excited about the whole thing. And so today I want us to look at signs that shows that one is not settled in their marriage. There are signs that shows that I married this woman or I married this man, but this man is not settled in this marriage, or rather his mind is not in this marriage. And so there are those signs that somebody will see and say, surely although I'm married to this person, I'm not so sure whether we are really married or we are, we shall continue in this marriage or not. So there are some things you can look at to show that that would show you signs that your spouse is not settled with you. And that means that maybe you'll have to do something about that marriage, so that you work on it and make sure that all is well. And some of these things that when you see them, you can be able to ask yourself questions, or rather try to do maybe something to make sure that this marriage works. And some of the signs that can show you that your spouse is not settled with you. Number one is that somebody makes a decision single-handedly. The fact that somebody is making decisions single-handedly does not involve you, does not consult you, does not in any way involve you in any way. So, and when you ask questions, there seems to be no answers. Somebody does things. Maybe somebody wants to buy a property, that person buys a property. Somebody wants to write the names, just writes his own names or her own names. This person wants to buy a car, just buys a car. One morning you just wake up in the morning and you are like, there's a car outside there, and when you ask whose car it is, somebody says that's not your business, and you're living with this person in the same house, and you really wonder, am I really part and parcel of, decision making in this house? And that shows that this person is not yet settled, or has not made a decision to settle with you. And sometimes these things happen so much in marriages, where you just meet somebody and you are like, you've not discussed so much about marriage. You find that you got married to this person circumstantially, and you had not even discussed marriage. Some of them you had even discussed marriage, but this person just ignores your input or ignores you, probably because you have nothing to offer. Sometimes there's a time I said, sometimes you get into this marriage, you don't have a job, you don't have money, you don't have direction, you have nothing. Yani hata mtu anaona anakusaidia. This person feels that maybe he's an IMF to you, so you are just there to be helped, because you don't have anything. And many times when somebody helps you, he reaches a point and feels, oh, this person is just too much of a burden and wants to put this burden down. And maybe you are that kind of a person in this marriage, you are just a burden to this person. And it tells you that this person wants to do things without involving you. Reasons, because you don't have anything to offer. You have nothing to give. Some people will ask, even if I tell you this vehicle is 1 million, what do you have to give in that 1 million? What is it? What is your contribution? Will you give me even 1 shilling? What are you going to give me? Really? You're telling your wife or your husband that, and one day the person just sees a vehicle, and you are like, you cannot say anything on that. You cannot say anything about that car. Somebody just carries you in the car when he feels like carrying you, and when he wants to carry other people, you have nothing to say. After all, you have nothing to offer. You have nothing. You are actually mtu wa kusaidiwa, wewe hauna chochote. And there is no marriage that ina watu wa kusaidiwa. Every marriage, every person, every spouse contributes to that marriage. You may not contribute to that marriage in form of cash, but there is so much you are giving to that marriage, you know. There is a lot that you can contribute to that marriage. And that's the reason why this person married you. Because he could not have done away without, could not have done without that very contribution. However little it is a contribution that is required in that family or in that marriage. And that's the reason why this person married you. So it is very wrong to give such kind of signs, because this person feels either inferior or that person feels, those are some of the signs that make somebody feel even depressed. There are some of the signs that would make somebody some people even commit suicide because of that thing called, not allowing somebody to make an input. It's very important to make an input in your marriage. And so when you see that kind of a sign, somebody does things single-handedly, you start thinking, I'm not part and parcel of this person's life, which is true. You are not. And number two, you incorporate your relatives more. There are some people who incorporate their relatives, their family members, their brothers and sisters in their decision making rather than their own spouses. So a spouse is just a stranger in this home. Everybody else everybody else's input is required. Brother zangu, my sisters, they need to tell me what kind of a car I should buy, what kind of a plot and where and what. Parents and especially mothers. And everybody is involved in that marriage, in decision making, except you. That one tells you that this person has not fully decided to settle down with you. Because, if you have decided to settle down with somebody, you will consider their preferences. Right? For example, if my husband has decided to settle down with me and he wants to buy a car, he will ask me, what kind of a car do you think we should buy? He will consider my preferences because he has decided this car belongs to both of us. But whenever somebody does things with his brothers and sisters and his parents, that means that your input is not required because you're not part and parcel of this marriage. And also, you are not actually an owner to this thing. Whatever is being bought it doesn't concern you in any way. So that one tells you this person has not decided to settle with you. And so it is very important for us to start, to look at it, to see the signs that portray either a marriage is going to work or not. So that so that as early as we start seeing these signs, we start working on our marriage. Because sometimes, it's good to understand why things are happening the way they're happening. There are times maybe we also cause problems and make it not to work. So it's good for us to, when we see these signs, to start asking ourselves, is it me who is on the wrong, or is it my spouse? What am I supposed to do in such a scenario? It is very, very important even to involve probably a counselor. It's good to get to understand before you go so far and divorce when you have 10 children. Why don't you divorce when you just have one child? If things are not going to change, because it's very important to make sure that things work out for you. I said earlier that this is the only institution where you will spend the rest of your life. So if this is the place where you are going to spend the rest of your life, then you need to be happy. You need to make sure that your happiness counts. And that is the reason why you should be involved in decision making. And number 3, you have secrets that you are not ready to disclose to your spouse. When somebody has a secret that is not ready to disclose to the spouse, that tells you that this person does not want you to know him fully or her. So there are some things they still feel, I cannot be able to disclose to my spouse because I have not fully accepted this person. I have not fully brought this person into my life. I have not fully, taken this person as part of me. So, we are just passing time. There are some marriages start by passing time, and sometimes some of them work, some of them don't work. So when somebody is not ready to disclose their secrets, and what are these secrets? There's a time I said there is no secrets in marriage. And the secrets that people think are secrets, these are the things that keep this marriage, in a very awkward position. Because, they keep fears in our lives, in the lives of the spouses. When I have a secret against my husband, or I have a secret that I feel that my husband should not know, that secret will always take toll on me, because I will always be thinking, supposing my husband gets to know this, or supposing my spouse gets to know this. And those are the things that will not keep you happy. It is good it's good to address before your spouse and let your spouse know you fully. Make everything open. Let your spouse know, the weaknesses of my wife. These are the things that my wife did, or these are the things that my husband did. This is the kind of a person I'm getting married to. Let your spouse know you fully. Let your spouse have nothing to hear from anybody else. Let your spouse get everything right from you. Tell your spouse, I have a baby, nilipata mtoto kabla hatujaoana. Tell your spouse, before he even marries you, tell him everything. Let him know literally, let him just read you like a book. Let him know. Let nobody try to think that he can come with a secret anakuja kumwambia hapo at your spouse sasa amekutana na mtu mwenye anataka kukuharibia, anasema this, there is something that I know about this woman, or there is something I know about this man, and I believe he has not told the husband, or I believe he has not told the wife. So what I'll do, I will go behind. Anything you think is a secret, there is somebody else who knows, and that could be something that will break your life, that will break your marriage, that will end your marriage. So the earlier you tell your spouse about everything about yourself, the better for your marriage. So if somebody feels that there are secrets they are keeping against the spouse, those are the secrets that would make the marriage to break at some point. So it means that this person has not fully decided that this is the woman or this is the man I want to live with. Because actually in marriages, they are not secrets. At some point, something will happen that will unveil something that you have just covered, maybe for too long. There are some spouses, like the story I was told about a lady who got married and she actually wedded a man, and during the wedding, while they were still courting, the lady would not even tell the man that she got a child out of wedlock, because she thought that probably if she tells the man would leave him. And there is a lot of trust when somebody is marrying somebody, and especially during that time when people are courting, there is so much trust, there is so much love. Love is in the air. That time everybody feels, oh my goodness, I cannot sleep without seeing this person I'm courting. So that is the right time to just tell somebody everything. Let person, wacha mtu akuache peke yako tu kama hamjaenda anywhere. It is better akuache tu mapema than just akuache umezaa watoto, umefanya nini, you have invested so much of yourself to this person, and this person leaves you. Tell this person, this is what I am. Let the person know this is the kind of a package I'm dealing with. This is the kind of a person I'm expecting to deal with. So that he prepares his shock absorbers about the things that are unfolding. Because it is not good to be told things much later. There's some things that can really, break you. There's some things that can really kill you. Like this one now, during the wedding is when the mother of the lady comes with a child, and she's very excited, and she says, now you see, I'm so happy my grandchild has gotten a father finally, And the man was like, what? What are you telling me? You are telling me you had a child and you didn't tell me. And the lady, was like, you didn't ask me, there are some things that are not obvious. Of course, I don't expect somebody to get a child out of wedlock, And if it has happened by mistake, it is good just to make it open and let the person know that usually there was some mistake somewhere, and, I am owning up the mistake, and so I'm ready to, that is why it's good to tell somebody about something that happened to you. There are some people who even have problems, some people have been, they have gotten some some ailments, some people have been sick, and this person gets sick or this woman gets sick, and while you're still a child or while you're still growing, and you get to hospital and things happen and you're done with so many things, and it happens that you get to be told that maybe you cannot get any child, be it a man or a woman, you are told that you cannot get children. And you know very well that you cannot give children. It is not that you don't know. There are some things that happen that somebody doesn't know, that you get into this marriage and you actually don't know that you cannot give children. But there are some things that have happened to somebody. There are some people who have gone to hospital, wamefanyiwa mavitu na madaktari. Unajua ya kwamba you are treated, you are sick. Ulikuwa mgonjwa, ukaenda, ukafanyiwa, ukafanyiwa treatment nyingi kama mwanaume, ukafanyiwa treatment nyingi kama mwanamke. Na ukaambiwa na daktari ni black and white. Akakwambia, I'm sorry to tell you that you cannot get children. You can never have children of your own. So wewe umeishi hapo, you are a very beautiful girl, you are a very handsome young man, and you look so good. And you know, outside here, you know, you have approached a girl and you want to marry her, or a young man, you want to marry him, and you're just getting into this marriage, and you've not even prepared this person psychologically. That personally, I'm not able to get children. You know, those are the things that are so deep. You know, they are so deep that you cannot hide. In fact, even if you don't tell this spouse that you cannot get children, finally uko mbele atajua tu, because at some point labda atakwambia tuende kwa daktari. So many things will happen. Or maybe somebody who was there when those things were being done to you while you were in the hospital, or even a doctor who attended, or somebody else who may have known the story, you know. And now here you are, maybe you've gotten married to this man or to this woman, and you are like, somebody asks you, you know, what is happening? You know, maybe the man decides, let me go to hospital and be checked. Maybe I'm the problem. And you are there just saying, oh, God is coming very soon. And you know the problem with us who are born again, maybe those who are Christians, sometimes we even put God in the equation. And we know very well that this one cannot happen. You know very well that you cannot get children as a man. You know very well you cannot get children as a woman. But you are just telling this person that, oh, let's pray about it. You know, God is going to come. And you go to every crusade and every place people are praying, you are there, you know, or looking for a miracle. You know, and this person you married knows that you are very fine and you are very well. So if there's a miracle happening, it is a miracle that is just not, you know, that it is a possibility. You know, there are some miracles that are not a possibility, you know. Like when somebody dies, for that person to resurrect. For example, you're praying for a dead person, and that person, you're praying for this person to come back to life. You know, this thing is 50-50 or 50-30 or 50-10. There's a possibility for this person to resurrect 10% by faith. But 90%, this person has died, and this person may not come back to life. Because people die every day. If there was that, you know, faith every day to resurrect people would not be buried. Everybody has somebody who believes that I can resurrect this person. But you know, God made it that way. There are some parts of our bodies, once they are removed, or once they are not in our bodies, or once they are not working, getting children, it is next to impossible. Some of those things I don't have, you know, the miracle may happen, but it is 90-10. Maybe the possibility of you getting children as a man, when you don't have those things that are required, you know, maybe it is 10%. For a woman, maybe it is 10%. So 10% is not a guarantee. 10% is not a guarantee. So it's very important to tell your spouse before you get married that, my friend, much as you love me, I know you love me, I know I'm a beautiful woman, I know I'm a handsome man, I know that, of course, every marriage, every single marriage in this world is always looking forward to getting children. And that is why even during the time of the wedding, you find that people, pastors get together and they pray for you, that God will give you the fruit of your womb. Why do they pray? Why don't they just leave it like? Because, you know, people, there is an expectation of humankind. Everybody expects, you know, that someday children will come into this family. And there is a lot of expectations to all of us that we shall get children. So, you know very well that you cannot get children according to the science that we have done. All of us have gone to school. We know what is required for children to be born. You know that you're missing this kind of a portion, a piece of you. This thing that would make you to get children, you don't have it. It was either removed or it is not working. You know very well about yourself. And there you have engaged somebody's son, somebody's daughter. Umeleta mtoto wa mtu nyumbani. You have taken somebody's child to be your wife, your husband. And you are there telling this person, let us pray about it. And you know very well that you are not able to get children. My friend, some of these things, they are very, very serious. You need just to open up to people and tell this spouse before you get married that I am not able to get children according to the science that I did. According to the doctor, he examined me and this is what this person... I'm not telling you to go telling everyone about yourself. But the person whom you are getting married to is a very important person. Why? Because the Bible records that you become one. You become one. And everybody would want to know, kwa nini mkono yangu inaniuma? Everybody would want to know, kwa nini kichwa inaniuma? Because your head, your face, your toes, all parts of your body are you. So when this man comes into your life or this woman comes into your life, it is very, very important to know that, you know, this person very well. It's very important for this person to disclose some of those very personal or, you know, very personal secrets, very personal things. Very, very personal. Ambia tu mtu this is what it is. Akuchukua akijua ya kwamba I am taking this package. You know, if somebody loves you, and you cannot get children. Of course, there are many other ways of getting children these days. And God has helped us. We are living at a time when you can get children without personally getting children. So it doesn't mean that you're doomed or you're condemned. But the issue here is prepare your spouse for the future. Prepare your spouse for other things that you're supposed to do in order to get these children. Prepare your spouse as early as the time when you are courting, so that the spouse understands, this is what we're going to go through. Sometimes, some people have, it happens at the end of the day. Maybe you could have adopted children as early as when you are young and you start life with them. But you have been praying over these things, praying about something that you are almost sure it will not happen. And then when you are now at 45, at 50s is when now you start saying, oh, now you see we cannot get children, we can now adapt and all that kind of thing. And you could have done that as early as. And I believe that somebody who loves you will tell you the truth. Actually, the truth is one of the characters of God. The character of God is the truth. God is truth. He himself is the truth. So when God comes into our lives, we are able to tell others the truth. Be truthful to your spouse. Tell them. It may be hurting, but tell somebody this is what it is. So that is a sign that somebody is not ready to settle with you. Because some of these truths, when they are discovered or when they come out, in most times, they are actually going to break this marriage. There are some marriages that have been broken, not because of any other thing, but because somebody has not been truthful to the spouse, has not been able to tell the person the truth, has not been walking in the light, has not been, this person has not declared himself fully or herself fully to the spouse. It is very, very important for us to tell each other the truth. Tell me the truth, I tell you the truth, so that this truth will set me free. I will be in this home with the freedom that my husband knows the truth and knows everything. It shouldn't be like, I'm always fearful that somebody will come up with the truth that I've denied my spouse. I'm always fearful that, somebody somewhere who will want to kill my marriage will come up with something that I've not told my spouse. No, just when this person accepts you, you are assured that your marriage is going to last. Why? Because you've told this person everything. There is no any other information this person will get from any other source. You are actually the source of your own information, and your spouse should not expect anything from any other source. And even if somebody comes up with an information, it will just to confirm what you already told your spouse. And your spouse is already aware of what is happening, is already aware that my spouse is like this, is already aware that my spouse is like this, is already aware that we have children before we even settle into this marriage. Even in some cultures, men also get children before they get married. And men, there are some cultures, men, you have to take their children with them. And you are there, you have gotten children, you have 3 children with some other women. Maybe you got a child from this one, you got another one from the other one, and you got another one. You have 3 children from 3 different women, and you are not marrying those women. So you have decided now you are marrying this specific one. And so, because you are marrying this specific one, let this woman, the specific one you are getting married to, know that you have a baggage. You have a baggage in form of children. So that when she will either accept you or tell you that I don't want somebody with a baggage. All of us, we have choices. Or rather, we have an ideal marriage in our minds. There is something we always think about as the marriage we want. So there are some people, somebody will tell you, me, I was not actually looking for somebody who is already having children. Me, I'm looking for somebody about, we shall get children just the 2 of us. I don't want any extra baggage. And so instead of marrying this woman, and then now you disclose to this woman about the baggage that you had, the children that you sired before you married her. And then you bring these children against the wish or the will of this woman. And what happens is, as these children start going through mistreatment, the children are mistreated, they are harassed, they want to teseka, not their own making, just because you decided not to tell this woman the truth. And then you see, children are children. Children will always be children, and they'll always be there. There are some things that you can hide and you get away with, but children you cannot. So these children will always come in your life at some point, even if you put your children away to your parents and tell them, oh, don't talk about it. The truth will come out by itself, So what happens is that this baggage you think is a baggage, let it be known. Let it be known by the spouse. After all, you intend to spend the rest of your life with this spouse. Why don't you tell this spouse all that you are and all that you have, so that this person prepares to receive everything about you? We need to receive everything about our spouses. Because there are some people who will love you with all that you are and you have. And those are the people who are ready to settle down with you. Anybody that loves you with all that you are and you have, this is the person that is ready to settle with you. So anytime you hide anything from your spouse, that means you also are not ready to settle down with whoever you are taking, because the truth will still come out and the reaction will still be the same as it could have been earlier on. Because, for example, if I get to know that my husband had children out of wedlock, and he did not tell me, and now he tells me when you've added even another one and another one, the reaction would still be the same, and it would even be worse, because probably I might think of divorcing the man, or I might decide these children are not going to come, I'm not going to take care of them. So which one is easier? You are still going to have psychological torture. So what I'm trying to say today is that it is good to understand what would make us settle in our marriages. After all, we are getting married to settle down. Why don't you deal with baggages that would make you not to settle down? And some of them have said, if you have children, bring them over. Tell your wife, tell your husband to be. Tell them, let them know that they are baggages that I have. And if you accept me, these baggages, you cannot do away with them, because they are part of me. Let them know that this is my life. This is the kind of life that I lived. Don't portray that you have been an angel and you have not been an angel. Don't portray that, me, I'm just a good girl, or I'm just a good, I have been a very good young man, I've been living a holy life and a clean life. And you have baggages outside there in form of children, and you don't want them to be known. No. Let this person know. My wife to be, alitereza mahali akapata watoto. My husband to be, alitereza mahali akapata watoto, and these children are part of us. So we shall only take care of them. After all, children are not there to stay. Children are there to grow, and the moment they grow, they also become independent and they get into their own things. So what I'm saying today is very, very important to observe the reasons or the signs that would make you know this person surely does not want me to settle down with them. And another thing is that sometimes you are not free to introduce your spouse to your relatives or to your family. There are some people you will live with. For example, the people we live in town. You get married to this woman or to this man. Marriages does not mean that you must wait. The fact that you got this woman now, kamwambia you want to marry her and you want to live with her or this man, and you accepted to move in together, that one is a marriage by itself. Actually, these other things you start doing by going to the parents and all that is just, to confirm that now we are husband and wife, and we want to involve the culture that we belong to, the people that we belong to, so that we do things systematically, so that they also put down they also bless us. Our parents give the blessings of this marriage. So you find that somebody has stayed with you in town, somebody is telling you that I'm married to you, and this person does not introduce you to their parents, the man does not take you home, the woman does not even want to tell you and her brothers and her nanny and her parents. And there you are, you're just living together, and you're like, you don't know what is happening, a marriage is confirmed marriage when there are people of the family that also, get into this union. Rather, they confirm that there is a marriage between our son or between our daughter and this man, or these two families, they share a relationship. The son of this home and the daughter of this home, they are sharing a relationship of marriage. That one confirms that at least it's a marriage. Marriage is not just the two of you. The society is also involved, and that's why there are cultural norms that are supposed to be done to confirm that this marriage is blessed. And that is why even when people are divorcing, it doesn't matter whether it's a cultural marriage or what, they are recognized in law. All these marriages where people come, we stay, and then later on they go to the parents, are recognized in law. So you find that this person you have lived with has even sired you a child, you have a child or two, both of you, none of you has taken each other home, amujapelekana kwa wazazi, your parents don't even, you could be living with somebody's husband where you are. You could also be living with somebody's wife. So the reason why this person has consistently or persistently refused to share, your union with the relatives and other people, that shows that there is a question mark in that union. So it's very, very important for you to find out, why is it that my husband has refused to take me to his home? Why is it that my wife has refused to take me to their home? That is a very, very serious issue. Actually, that one is an eye-opener. You should be ready to understand that you could be living with somebody's wife, or you could be living with somebody's husband. People leave the villages and they come to town, and they leave husbands and they leave wives and they leave children, and they come to town and they live like nothing has ever happened. And there you are, talking about having a wife and you don't know where this wife comes from. And there you are talking about having a husband and you don't know where this husband comes from. I am telling you today, it is very, very important for you to see that you make everything possible that confirms that you are now husband and wife. God bless you so much. We shall start from there. Make sure that you have a good marriage. Asante sana. Can you subscribe please in my YouTube? God bless you. Thank you.